Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I am your host, Doug, here with your video blog. For May 12th, 2014, I have a great blog once again set up for you today on this Monday. We're going to be having our New York sports update as the Subway Series gets ready to get underway. A look at your MLB Power Rankings as the top two stay the same, but the rest are shaken up. NBA playoff updates, but first I want to get to the NFL Draft. And with the NFL Draft, I'm going to let you know Wednesday. Tune into the blog on Wednesday. Get your questions into me. You can ask me any question you want about the NFL Draft, any player, any team, anything you want to know about the NFL Draft, my take on it. You can ask me. You can put that on my Facebook wall. You can also put that on the YouTube channel or on my Twitter at YankeeBaller415. Just let me know what you want to know about the draft, and I'm going to answer some live draft questions on Wednesday, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Really, the big talk of the first round, as we didn't have a blog Friday, so really the big talk of the first round was the Cleveland Browns and what they did. They traded back in the first round to the 8th pick, or to the 9th pick, and took the cornerback out of Oklahoma State, Justin Gilbert, who is a very solid player. And a lot of people thought when they went back they were going to go back and get Johnny Manziel. They did not. Later on, Manziel was still on the board. I thought he was going to go to the Cowboys at 16. Still on the board at 22. So the Browns trade up with the Eagles, and the Browns pick up Johnny Manziel. And the big talk has been, what will Johnny Manziel do in Cleveland? A lot of people thought it'd be a good combination with him and Josh Gordon. Now it's looking like Josh Gordon could be out with a substance abuse policy suspension early on in the year. So Manziel could struggle. I think he has a decent running game. They bring in Ben Tate at running back. That's going to be pretty solid for them. I still like the weapons he has with Jordan Cameron. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do if they go out and get another wide receiver. I think Manziel could be good early. He could struggle because he's going to have to throw the ball down the field. Doesn't have the greatest arm strength in that wind. And it's a tough division to win in for sure. But I like Manziel going there. I think it was an exciting draft. We all know the ratings spiked right around 9:45 Eastern Time when Manziel was picked. I'm not surprised. It was exciting, and I think he is single-handedly the most talked about draft prospect in NFL history. And we're going to be talking a lot more about Johnny Manziel as we move towards the regular season. A lot of people are wondering who I like, who went late. Really, the pick I like was the third-round pick of the 49ers when they got Bruce Ellington, wide receiver out of South Carolina. A nice small guy, kind of a small version of a Percy Harvin that we saw was so effective for the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I like the pickup. It gives Kaepernick another weapon. The guy has mad vertical as he can dunk a basketball. He's 5'9". I like what he can do. Probably some kick returns as well, so I like that. 7th round pick was Michael Sam going to the St. Louis Rams. I like this pickup for sure. I think the Rams really know what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball at this point. I think it's good he got drafted, the first openly gay NFL draft prospect. He will now be in the NFL. I think he could have an impact. I think he'd be a special teams guy for sure. I think we could see him also just in some zone blitzes or some stunt blitzes as well. It's going to be interesting to see what Michael Sam can do. I think he could have a very good NFL career. I don't think he's Pro Bowl caliber, but I could see this guy playing for 7 to 9 solid years in the NFL and making a solid impact on this team. He's a little undersized, but I think with the genius of that St. Louis Rams defense, he will be able to find a way to make an impact. And the issue of him being gay should not be an issue at all. Cincinnati Bengals, they draft a quarterback in, I believe, the 6th or 7th round. They take A.J. McCarron out of Alabama. Now they have two very similar quarterbacks, I think, with McCarron and Dalton. Pressure could be on Andy Dalton because A.J. McCarron is a competitor. He is going to be pushing Andy Dalton, and this could be the best thing for the Bengals, to put a little pressure on Andy Dalton with A.J. McCarron. I do think Andy Dalton is overall the better quarterback. I think A.J. McCarron will push him, and that's going to be good for the Bengals and ultimately good for the city of Cincinnati to have this competition. And it's also good for the city of Cincinnati because A.J. McCarron is just a stand-up guy to bring into your organization. Syracuse Orange players. We had 2 of them get drafted, 3 others signed as free agents. The first one we saw come off the board in the 3rd round, defensive tackle Jay Bromley, to the Giants. 5th round, we had linebacker Marquise Sproul. He went 5th round to the Falcons. I like that pickup. A couple of free agents. Jerome Smith, the running back, he will join Sproul at the Falcons. Colts pick up the defensive back Keon Lynn, and cornerback Rashard Anderson will be on his way to the Tennessee Titans. So Syracuse football starting to get some more guys to the NFL. I think Jerome Smith could have an impact in the NFL. He's a big guy, 3rd down type back, and I want to see what he can do in the NFL. I think it could be exciting. Okay, time for your NBA playoff series update. Let's go to the first series. We have Washington and the Pacers. Last night we saw the Wiz blow a lead once again, and Paul George absolutely lit it up in the second half. He finishes with 39 and 12, and they take a commanding 3-1 lead, and this is showing that Indiana could be back and ready to compete with Miami for that Eastern Conference crown. The other Eastern Conference series, Brooklyn and Miami, this game, Nets got hot from behind the arc in Game 3. They win that one. We're going to have Game 4 of that series tonight in Brooklyn. I'm taking the Heat. I like the Heat in this series to win it in 5. I'm going to take the Heat tonight to go up 3-1. The other game we'll have tonight, Portland, San Antonio. San Antonio has just been outplaying these guys. It's been pretty crazy. Damian Lillard struggled, and Tony Parker has been playing out of his mind. And I've taken the Spurs to win tonight and lock up this series, as the Trailblazers can win if they can score 125, but you're not scoring 125 on the Spurs. And our final series, OKC and the Clippers. The Clippers come back late tomorrow night, and there's 2 points I want to make on this game, as we'll have Game 5 on Tuesday. Game 4 was pretty crazy. They rallied. Durant has 40, but just 2 things I noticed. First off, Darren Collison scoring 10 of his 18 points in the final 2:58 of the game. And if people remember, Darren Collison, he was in Indiana, and they didn't want to re-sign him because they wanted to go with George Hill, and I bet Indiana is regretting that now. Darren Collison was a dynamic player last night and a very exciting guy to watch. And the other thing was just the offensive play choice of the Thunder. The Thunder would come up. Russell Westbrook would be the only guy to touch the ball. He was the only guy to touch the ball on 4 consecutive possessions. Came off the screen from Ibaka and shot a jumper. I think he hit 1 out of 4 during that stretch, and that just set that offense back. And you got to get the ball to Durant. And Durant, I put it on Twitter, KD35 has to be a cold-blooded killer if they are going to win a title. So I picked the games for tonight. I'm taking San Antonio and Miami. So San Antonio will advance on to the Western Conference Finals. Let's go to the Major League Baseball Power Rankings. Coming in at number 5 on my list, we have a new team in at number 5 this week. It is the Detroit Tigers. They fell to number 8 last week. They are my winner of the week. 21-12 overall, 7-3 in their last 10 as they jump up 3 spots to number 5. Number 4, Atlanta Braves. They drop a spot. They're 21-15, 4-4 last week. Not a solid week for them, but they're still playing well. San Francisco, number 3, 24-14, 6-3 last week. They jump up a spot after winning a big series against the Dodgers over the weekend. And number 2 and 1 are still the same. Oakland in at number 2, off a 5-4 week. Brewers played some tough teams. They finished their week at 3-5. And the Brew Crew stays at number 1 for the 3rd consecutive week. My loser of the week are the Dodgers. They are going through a tough stretch right now. They are down to number 9 on my poll. And my team to watch are the Colorado Rockies, 23-17. They're scoring runs at a ridiculous clip, and they are in at 6-4 for the week. Yankees finished up a road trip, 3-3. They're now 19-17, a game and a half back of the Orioles. CC Sabathia headed to the DL with a knee injury. That will now put the Yankees at losing 3 out of their 5 from their opening day starting rotation. The Mets, on the other hand, struggling as well. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They're now 17-19. 4 games back. We'll start a 4-game series. The Subway Series, 2 at the stadium, then 2 at Citi Field. Mets at Yankees tonight, 7:05. Bartolo Colon, former Yankee, 2-5. 5.36 versus Kuroda 2-3, 4.43. And we're going to have a lot more on the Subway Series as we move through the week. Wednesday, I'll be back with our NASCAR points update as my man Jeff Gordon gets the big win at Kansas City. I'm now 3-8 on my picks. NFL draft questions, remember, get those to me via Facebook, Twitter, or my YouTube channel. NBA playoff updates as well. MLB action. Always remember to follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. That is YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I'll be back on Wednesday. Have a good start to your week.